I am a professional hunter. What we do is we take this Miss Faye, and we put her in front of the woods, and then we put her in the glue, and he looks at Miranda, and then we put all the seeds on her, and she makes the noise. Again, it's called to arouse the bird to her, and then we drop the hole on top of her.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. It sounded great, the idea that you had just now.
Appreciate that.
Do you have a plan where I don't get fucked by a bird?
I don't think you get fucked. If you close your mouth, you'll be fine. Let's go. And then
she stares at you with her mouth agape, dumbfounded by
not like that.
Not like that.
Not like that.
With her mouth wide open.
That'll be the problem right there. Yeah. It's your stance. Oh, it's 10 days in your books, is it? All right. In that case, then
it's here.
Half a week, please.
Half a week? You want it for 5 days?
For one room. Yep.
For one room. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 40.
Oh with my God. Discount.
With real life right now.
Is this 40 silver?
This is riveting Dungeons and Dragons.
So
this is what you don't see in a Dungeons and Dragons game.
It's 20 silver.
Do you really want to sleep?
Yes.
While Devlin's awake. Do you want tiny tea bag? Awake while you're sleeping.
I'll be fine. I'm not uncivilized.
There you go. You see?
I'm totally gonna teabag him so hard.
Oh my God. 10 feet away from both.
Kick him. You know you want to.
I think she's gonna get close enough and see that this thing completely fucked our friend up, and just be like, and then she's gonna cast something.
Cast something. I love that.
Guys, this is my first cleric.
We slept together.
That was quick.
No, it was just several hours long.
Wow.
No. You mean you did that all night? You
Yes, we slept together all night.
You must be very tired. That's not very professional.
No, we slept together all night. Not tired at all.
Well rested.
Together all night.
Could I have the bread, please?
We're killing it. We're killing it. And then Mike joined the show.
This is the biggest smile you're going to see on me at all because of Cody being so stressed out. It's my favorite day.
Oh, you know what would make this even better, Cody? Don't throw out your back. Welcome, everybody. Falls out of his chair. Welcome, Dave, to my channel.
Feels like a promotion.
It feels like a promotion.
They can't hear you.
Cody, I'm pretty sure you're muted.
Are you kidding me? I hate my life so bad.
Cody, again from the top, but with feeling.
So guys, our sponsors for today's show. Our sponsors are going to be Elderwood Academy for all your gaming accessory needs. They're awesome. I actually recently ordered some stuff from them, which I'll probably be showing off here soon. Also, if you guys want to make dungeon maps and other things like that, use Dungeon Painter Studio. It's on Steam if you guys want to pick that up. And the last one, I don't remember.
Fantasy Grounds.
Guys, it's what I have on my one monitor. It's used in one of my 4 monitors. That's what we've been using. Actually, or something came up today. Really cool feature. You can export characters to other games.
Sure can.
Play the same character with another friend. Go right on over, and it's great. So you guys should totally pick it up.
And since Cody's probably still muted, if you guys want to see us laugh this hard on a regular basis, go check out patreon.com/SaberDice. We launched a new After Dark show where we talk about very, very inappropriate, non-sponsorable topics. So instead, they're sponsored by you guys because you're awesome and you love our dirty, dirty mouths. Cody, you want to try that again?
Welcome to the Saber Dice Mime Show. We're just gonna finger speech. Okay. We're excited to be back. We have some more fun shenanigans. Before we jump into the show, I do want to kind of mention the Patreon because a lot of people had questions, and I'd like to just kind of get it done and knocked out so everybody can kind of figure out what's going on. Here's what's going on. We pay our cast. That's just as simple as that. David and I, we love paying our cast. These guys give us a lot of their time. It's hard to be.
I don't know about love it, but we totally do it.
Hey, yeah, okay. But so we've launched a Patreon to help us continue to pay for cast and continue to expand our shows. So if you guys want to support us on Patreon, we have launched an additional piece of content called Saber Dice After Dark, which you guys have just seen in the intro right there. It's dirty, it's filthy, it's raunchy, and to be honest with you, we had a lot of fun doing it. So you get the podcast for $3, you get the video for $5. There's a couple extra tiers where we're going to be doing some Saber Dice t-shirts, some exclusive things. So if you guys want to check that out, you can do that at patreon.com/SaberDice. That does not affect any of our regular shows. We will still be right here every Wednesday, except on Halloween apparently. And we'll be on our Tuesday game for Storm Nights. We'll continue to be right here for free. So don't worry, we're not going to paywall our regular content. We're just adding an extra podcast for people who want to continue to support us on the show.
Hey, Cody,
yes.
I need you to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Because both chats are saying you're very hard to hear and muffled.
While you figure that out,
one more issue tonight, Michael.
While you figure that out, we do
ahead.
have some Dungeon Painter Studio contest winners.
Ooh.
I'm going to put it in the chat in addition to saying them. But we got Evan Himes, Mark Schneck, and Rihanna Barclay are our winners. I probably butchered some of those names there, but I can't talk. I don't
Blur, David, not blar. Water.
So congratulations to everyone. We're going to actually reach out to them and get them their stream keys so they can expect an email in the near future.
Please let me know if I'm continuing to have mic issues. Guy, why don't we play some D&D or something?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Before we do that, we should probably thank Kyle for the super chat as well as James, Leslie. You guys are awesome.
We appreciate the love. And James, I will certainly be getting a drink immediately after this episode. Professional streamer.
All right, so
No, you're a professional YouTuber.
It shows the difference. All right, let's play some D&D.
Let's play some D&D, absolutely. All right, so if you recall, cast your minds back to the adventures of the Kharos Stones, where our intrepid heroes had made their way to Salaxadrome, the city on the floating island in the solar sphere of the world known as Ka, which is where we're playing. Now, in Salaxadrome, our heroes came across a shop merchant who was basically the source of attraction from Valentine, our fabulous, fabulous. Valentine, I think you guys are swapped around. So, Valentine, just raise your hand so we can make sure we know who's the right one, because you and Dave look so similar. There we go. All right. So Valentine has been pulled to this store by the stone that's embedded in him. And in the store, they found a whole bunch of thugs beating up the bookshop owner, as that's what one does to librarians. So without any more delay, let's carry on. We're in the middle of combat, and we are at the top of the round with Valentine facing off against 2 giant ogres and 2 rather rabid-looking hyenas.
Yeah. So I'm going. The giant hyenas are still like right in front of me.
That's correct. Yes.
You
and Barnabas are at the back of the store.
Is Barnabas just getting pounded by the other ogre?
Yes, he is. There are 2 ogres next to Jenks and Barnabas is standing right between the 2 of them.
Okay. I'm going to. I can't because I'll have disadvantage. There's 2 hyenas on top of me, right?
They are gigantic hyenas. You can see their mottled fur and their drool from their jaws as they stare at you hungrily.
All right. I can't use the bow, so it's rapier time. I'm going to stab at one of them with a 15.
15. All right. So you swipe at this poor, I was going to say poor innocent hyena.
And I'm going to go ahead.
15 hits.
15. All right. Yep. I won't do any extra fancy stuff, and we'll just do some damage. Stab it with 4 damage.
You poke and prodded it, but its hide is quite thick and it's full of muscle, so there isn't too much penetration there. The ogre is up next. This is the ogre known as Hagaloo, which is towering over Barnabas and Jenks.
Dodge.
Dodge. That's what you're doing?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. So that's going to be your action? No. Are you just hoping to dodge?
I'm messing with you, guy. I'm fucking with you, man.
Confusing me. All right, so you're hoping to dodge, and for that, he's going to swing at you. Let me just do that. Sorry. He is going to make his attack against you, and he hits an armor class of 18, which I believe is a hit.
I have an 18 AC.
Yeah. For a whopping 13 damage.
I collapse as I spit up a cough of blood as my lung collapse. My lung collapse.
Are you sure you didn't break your back?
I'll kill you.
All right, so Barnabas goes down. Nemia, you're up next.
So I just want a quick recap. I have full HP right now, right?
Correct. You're on full hit points. You were restored by the dashing Barnabas who came running in to save you.
Yes.
Okay.
He's now collapsed next to you.
I'm sorry?
Barnabas has just collapsed next to you. There is a giant ogre standing in front of you, and there's an ogre standing behind you, although that ogre is currently engaged with Draxus.
Okay. Yeah, the one that just attacked Barnabas, Nemia is going to get up on one knee and then push off of her leg to try to uppercut this thing.
Nice.
Try is the key word. That's not an attack.
What is it?
What armor class did you hit?
Oh, she just put in the chat unarmed.
Aha.
Not as damage. Sorry, guys. That's a 9.
That's 9.
It's a
you
14.
swing and you swipe. You connect with Hagaloo, but as your fist strikes the underside of his jaw, you realize that there is more muscle there than almost anywhere else in his entire body, and you don't think you make any kind of impression upon him whatsoever. Barnabas Bray, you need to give me a death saving throw, if you please, sir.
I need to bleed more. Okay, I'm hoping, by the way, that the audio is fixed. If it's not, I'm sure you guys will fucking tell me. 7.
7. So that is a fail.
No.
Don't let me die, please.
Guys, if Barnabas Bray dies, we're just going to end the stream. I don't think Cody can take out an L for the day.
At a party that Drax is through.
I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to fucking put it up there in my space, and I'm going to fucking leave. And just come back when the show is over.
Just freeze your camera. Take some advice from
what Jacob does with his
I'll do what Jacob does all the time.
Yeah, just take Jacob's advice.
All right, Vankus, you are up, sir. There is a giant slathering hyena next to you with the stench of rotten flesh coming from his mouth, and a very large, very unhappy ogre.
All right, I'm going to use my bonus action to meld my form into that of a bear.
You have the bear stat for you?
I do. And I'm going to do bear things to this ogre.
Bear things.
That's right.
It's spreading.
That's a 24 to hit.
Nice.
That hits
Bear things. As I rear up and tear into him with some claws for 13.
13 points of damage.
Yep. And I'll attempt the bite. That's a 21.
That's a hit.
And that's another 10 points. There's my bear role play for you guys.
Can we clip that, please?
that you just rip into this poor ogre who did not see a giant bear coming at all. He is heavily wounded. He sort of clutches at his side as he tries to get to his feet. Draxus, you're up next. You are standing next to this bear being all maulish towards poor old Thagadash, and there is still a hyena next to you as well.
Okay, Thagadash is not paying attention to me.
Correct.
Right? Okay, the hyena is, though.
Yes, very much so. He's looking at you kind of going,
the hyena is getting a French rapier coming at him.
French rapier, oh my.
17 to hit?
17 mouth, that is a hit indeed.
Is that like a frozen coffee or something? It sounds refreshing.
Yeah, it's if you go to Italy, a rapiato is a different thing entirely. He's gonna take 6 damage from the rapier, and he's gonna take 4 more sneak attack. Wait, do I have an ally next to me?
Yes, you do.
Okay, he's gonna take 4 more sneak attack damage, and then I'm going to whip him with my offhand weapon.
Because that's a thing.
15 to hit?
15 is still a hit.
1 damage. So he takes a total of 11 damage as he
yips in pain. He or she, it's difficult to tell, especially with the hyenas, but he or she yips in pain as you lay into it. It starts to it sort of looks at the wounds that you've inflicted. It's not sure whether it should eat its own leg or whether it should carry on attacking you.
Perfect.
Hyena 1, however, has absolutely no problems in making a decision and will attack Valentine straight away, and it snaps at Valentine and double click. Hits an armor class of 13, which I think is a complete failure.
Mm-hmm.
Poor little hyena. And it does not have multi-attack, so that's it done. Hyena number 2, the giant hyena, which is now in a serious amount of pain, is going to attack you, Draxus, because you caused that pain, and it hits armor class of 21, which is a hit, I'm assuming, for 8 points of damage as it rips.
Too many. That's too many points.
That's too many damage.
Yeah.
That's too many damage?
That's what's math numbers mean. Okay, I got it. I'm at 14 hit points. Cool.
That's it.
That must be nice.
It's real nice. I mean, I was at full the whole time. So. If you remember, 2 weeks ago, I dodged like I was on a Michael Jackson video set.
That's true. That is true. Okay, so you, sir, are being attacked, and by you, sir, I mean the giant bear is being attacked by Thagadash, who's barely standing.
We're just all confused. We're just like, oh, it's a bear now.
Oh, natural 20 on my rolls here, but so that's
really 20, is it really, guy?
It really is. It really is. Trust me. You just have to believe me.
Guys, we can make up all of our rolls. He'll never know.
Why would I lie? Why would I lie? For a grand total of 12 damage to Bankus.
Ouch.
Yep. As he rips into you, and that takes us back to the top of the round. And Valentine, you're up next.
I look over at Draxus and I yell at everybody. I say, we need to help Barnabas. His health hurts. And I'm going to disengage and run over to where his body is. Towards the towards whatever ogre just took him down. And I'm prepared to slice this thing.
All right, you rush over to poor old Barnabas's body.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 30 feet, so you can make an attack if you like.
I did disengage, which is
you disengaged. Sorry, yes, you're quite right. You're quite right. Sorry, I forgot about that part. All right, so Hagaloo, the one facing off against poor old Jenks. Hagaloo swings his massive club, hits an armor class of 18.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you like it?
Ow.
9 points of damage as he smacks into you.
I mean, she died 4 times last episode, so.
That's right.
He was napping 4 times.
Napping. That's it. Speaking of napping, Jinx, you are up. This ogre is just beating down upon you as you try and swipe back with your fists. What are you doing?
I think after it hits her, she's sort of doing that thing where like the person doesn't know when to just stay down, and she just keeps getting back up, and he's just pummeling her, and she's like rude and just goes to stand up again, and you see blood starting to come out of her mouth, and she's gonna try to dodge one of his attacks and get an uppercut on him.
Make your attack.
Just gets hit in the face.
Nope.
She's trying.
He's trying. Okay.
Well, you need to tell him what your roll is. He can't see it.
Yeah, I can't see.
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry. 1.
One. Wow. Okay. There we go. Barnabas, give me a life save, if you please, sir.
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to?
I'll hold action.
Come on, Barney.
I'll hold my action on my death save until.
What's the worst that happens? You roll a 1 and then it's double negative, right?
A life save, that's definitely a positive.
You're dead.
All right, God, listen. I know that you and I, we've had a rough week this week, but I really would like to not roll a 1 right now.
Are you praying to Brax? Or...
Are you praying to Brax?
Oh, okay. Success.
You almost got up.
Yeah, I was going to say.
1 success, 1 failure, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Ankus. Giant Bear, you're still beating on poor old Thagadash?
Yeah, I'm still beating on Thagadash.
Make your attack.
All right, try to bite his face. 16.
16 is a hit. How do you kill him?
Just right for the jugular. I just grab him by his neck and shake him. Shake him like a dog with a toy.
Like a bear with an ogre.
Like a bear with an ogre. Yeah, exactly.
Like a bear with an ogre. He goes
It reminds
down.
me of that time my dog dug up a dead cat that had been dead for a long time. So it was like a piece of leather, running around the yard with it, just like.
Yeah, you have a similar kind of flavoring in your mouth, I would imagine. That's pretty good descriptor. Draxus, you're up. There's still a hyena that has your name on it.
It does. It has my name in it because I'm carving it in like Zorro. Rapier's coming at him again. 19 to hit. Or sorry, 18 to hit.
18's a hit.
Whip is coming in for a nat 20. Get wrecked. Sorry, I clicked that 1 too many times. Oh, yeah. That was that. And come on. Click. You son of a bee. And some sneak attack damage. Bam.
Yeah.
So a total of 14 damage as the D is getting carved into his back, and then he whips.
D.
Yeah.
Guys, this is not the After Dark show. Just let that go.
First it was like whip, and he puts the D down, and then the R comes down, and he's hoping to get the rest of Draxus.
Yeah, you just don't make it that far, unfortunately, because he collapses in a pile of alphabet all around you, looking very pained and sorry for itself. So it has collapsed. That leaves the giant hyena that was facing Valentine, who disengaged. It sees Draxus having just dropped its mate, so it charges over to Draxus and makes an attack against him. Jaws ready to clamp down. Hits an armor class, not natural 20. So that's a definite hit, and that's 12 damage as it tries to write its own message on you in Braille.
It sure did a little bit.
In Braille.
In Braille?
Well, it's sort of puncture mark, right? I don't know. I was trying to be. I'll be quiet.
I got you. I was there.
Puncture him so hard it becomes like bumps on the other side.
Bumps on the other side. There we go. All right. So that's Giant Hyena. He's dead. So all that's left is for us to go to the top of the round, which is again Valentine.
Who's left?
Just the one ogre in the corner that Jenks is busy making out with, and the giant hyena, which is kind of slobbering all over Draxus.
All right. We're going to fire an arrow into that ogre.
Heal me.
I am a fighter. I cannot do that.
There's an unconscious corpse twitching at your feet.
Yeah, I really wish I could do something about that.
Do a medicine check.
I could do a medicine check. Can I?
There's a giant ogre in front of you.
That's
He's
true.
totally
I gotta
fine.
kill the ogre first.
Yeah.
Just don't. You're fine, Cody. Just don't roll one.
I'm going to add. Let me check what my character can do. I'm going to make it so that he has to drop his weapon. So I'm going to try to disarm him.
That song started off real strong.
Thanks.
Downhill.
That was way worse than Mike being like, yeah, and then I Sound effects.
Have you
Just a
seen a
four-
rapier and a whip?
14.
That's the sounds they make exactly. You jerk.
What was your
I'm
to hit?
pretty sure Ray Pier goes boing.
And you're trying to disarm. Do I have make an opposed strength check, right?
Yeah, if the 14 breaks his armor class.
It does indeed.
All right, yeah, he needs to make a strength saving throw of 13.
Okay. And his strength save is 16.
He sucks, but he still takes some extra damage.
That's good.
Pew! 13 piercing damage as I stab him into his hands.
How does he die?
I'm like trying to disarm him, right? So I take my rapier and I bring it forward, and he's like bringing his hand up, and I'm hoping to disarm him, but it just goes through his hand into his eye, and I'm like, oh, that works too.
That works too. Nemia Jenks, you're up next. There's one hyena left who is currently chewing on Draxus's back.
How is it facing in relation to my character?
Basically, Draxus is facing it most likely, so he has his back to you. He is in between you and it, but to get to it is relatively easy. You have a nice big open bookshelf, bookstore around.
If she can, she's gonna try to do a run and jump off the wall because she's a little nimble. Perfect. And then just do another flying punch since these have been going so well.
There's window frames that you can leap off of without a problem whatsoever. Make your attack.
22.
That's a hit. Do damage.
Very nice.
5.
5 damage.
And then the offhand.
Right.
She's going to follow it up with her other feast.
1, 2. 1, 2.
7.
7 points? Oh, 7 to
7
hit.
To hit, yeah.
All right. Yep. That does not connect. Barnabas Bray.
All right. Let's just do it.
Don't die.
The hounds are coming for me at the moment.
What did you roll? I'm taken by your expression. It wasn't a natural 20.
It's an 8.
It's an 8. That's 2 fails.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no. If only somebody would have helped him.
If only. All right, so that's Barnabas Bray. Vankus, you're up. There's a hyena chewing on Draxus, although Jenks has now started to melee with it as well.
I will charge over to Barnabas and come out of my wild shape and reach into one of my pouches and beg the spirits to infuse these berries with life-giving sustenance, and I cram 5 good berries down his throat at the same time.
Vankus, he's not hungry. What are you doing? Oh.
All right. You make him consume good berries.
5 hit points, but you can't move because you just ate 5 days worth of food. You get the worst turkey hangover ever.
So Barnabas snaps out. What had happened is he was falling into the warm, embracing arms of Brax, who was taking him like a baby and rocking him to sleep. And now he wakes up with this hideous, long-haired druid that smells, shoving dank food into his mouth, and he begins to hurl. But he's glad to be alive.
There's definitely lint all over those berries, and probably a little bit of hair.
Whatever was in your pockets, just that's in my mouth now.
Yummy. Draxus, you're up.
Okay, what the fuck is happening? There's a hyena eating me?
There is a hyena that is trying to consume you. Yes, absolutely.
18 to hit with a rapier.
That's a hit.
He takes 10 damage from the rapier. A nat 20 on the whip, because
nice.
Man, Devo over here. Nice. So that's a total of 18 damage. So
that's a nice crit.
Attack on top of that. So that is 18, 23 damage on the hyena.
Which attack is your sneak attack damage?
The whip. My sneak attack damage is the 5.
No, I'm saying your sneak attack doubles if it's the crit.
It's on the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. So he takes 23 damage. And has a new bleeding D carved in his hide.
It growls, glares. It's now in an absolute frenzy. It tries to bite you back.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
It's nearly, it's bleeding all over the place. There's so much blood, it actually can't see where to attack. So it just sort of snaps out in general in all different areas. Completely misses you. Back to the top of the round, Valentine.
All right. Firing an arrow at the hyena.
Sure.
Pew! 24.
That's a hit.
I'm going to try it. Oh, sweet. Did I kill it?
Yep. Unless you roll less than 3 damage.
He's about to carve a D, and he puts one line in, and then my arrow slides up next to it and makes a V, and he dies.
Sort of ricochets off the skull, making a V. There we go. All right. Well, the combat has come to an end as the corpse of the last enemy falls to your feet. Falls to Draxus's feet anyway.
I turn down and I hold my hand out to Barnabas and I say, "Are you all right?"
Oh, it is. I think. Yes, I'm fine. Are you okay? And he kind of looks over at Jinx because the last thing he really remembered doing was like rushing to her side next to these big giant brutes to save her
Barnabas,
life.
we are all okay because of you. So thank you.
Good.
No, we're not.
Oh, look what they did to Bennett.
Literally didn't do anything.
Pulling at his chain shirt, like, oh God, it's bloodied, and
I think he just smashed through a window and immediately died.
Did we save the gentleman, the clerk?
Are you still alive back there?
You calling out to the individual that was thrown out of the glass window into the alleyway outside?
Barnabas threw him out the window into the alley.
Sure did.
There is a very, very faint sort of muffled mumble. And then you hear from without in that little alleyway, you hear someone saying, "I think he's dying."
Draxus, why don't you make yourself useful and go help him?
How does...
Go!
What would make you think I know how to do anything like that?
I don't know.
How about that guy?
I've got more berries.
The berries.
Some berries.
Or that guy. Glowing hands.
Yes, you'll have to tell me where you received these berries from.
I will go dive out the window after him.
All right, lying in the alleyway is a very bloodied shopkeeper. It looks as if he's been stabbed multiple times through the chest, through the arms. He's lying there. Standing next to him is Scratches, the donkey, sort of looking at him, and sort of certain what to do. Every now and again, he sort of pats him with a hoof to try and reassure him. The man looks up at you and says, "Oh, no, I have no more books. Just let me die in peace."
No, eat this. And I start shoving berries in his mouth. It's good. Make you feel better. And I grab him, make him chew.
He's too weak to resist, although he tried initially, but he eventually gives up. He does start to perk up a little bit as your magic starts to infuse his wounds with healing power. And he blinks back and he looks at you. "You are not one of the ones who came here to rob my store."
No, my friend, we've come to help you.
Because we are what you would call heroes.
You say that from the window?
Yes.
He looks up at you.
I'm just standing like, all you can see is just like the chest up and my arms all puffed out.
I want that cinematic camera cut where it's him, because we are heroes, shouting through the window, and then the camera pans to Draxus, who's knelt down with his bag open, and he's taking the coin pouch from an invisible hand and dumping it in his pouch.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So, Draxus, yes, that chest that you saw behind the counter and you lifted up with the mage hand, you certainly can put that into the bag. No one seems to be paying you much attention. Jenks, what are you doing whilst the heroes are heroing outside?
She's probably leaning up against one of the bookshelves, just
I'm still inside.
Bread, just eating them from her horn.
She dips it in the jam that spilled out of Barnabas.
Oh, no. All right, so Jenks
what is with you and bread? Is it like your spinach for Popeye? Like what? I don't understand what's happening here.
It's a go snack. It's easily stored, clearly.
The medieval to-go snack.
There you go.
Bread,
Valentine,
cheese, jerky.
I am looking about the room, seeing if I can find anything on where our friend went, the once barmaid, now turned Lord Evil fuckface. And while I'm doing that, I look over at Jenks, who's taking the bread off her horn, and Valentine, just for whatever reason, gains some incredible insight, and he just goes, "She would love donuts," and then goes back to what he's doing.
all right. Well, it's from where you are. You can see that there is there's two doors, that communicate with this room. They're both at right angles at the far end of the store. You seem to recall that, yes, two doors. One leads deeper into the shop, if you like, and one leads parallel with this room along the street itself.
I'm going to go deeper in and see if I can find anything over there.
All right. So you're going down that route down there.
And if it looks like, oh shit, this is a whole fucking dungeon, then I'll just wait for everybody else. But I'll go down and just check it out.
I'm not sure what a whole fucking dungeon looks like, but this is a long corridor that has 4 doors leading off on either side and then one at the very far end. It looks like a passageway.
This looks like a long fucking dungeon. I turn around and I yell out to everybody and I say, "There are more rooms back here. We must investigate. Gather your things and whatever people you're saving and be prepared."
Scratches, is this your master or your former master? And I point to the...
Scratches looks down at El-Qasim. Oh, yes, absolutely. El-Qasim, this is... I don't think I've ever actually got your name.
Vankus.
Vankus, yes, that's right. He saved me from some people that you sold me to, you bastard. The donkey starts to beat on El-Qasim.
No, Scratches, no! We came here to talk to him.
He hits him with a 17.
Oh, all my work has been...
And does maximum damage. So El-Qasim is kicked out.
Beats the shit out of him.
He does. He just starts chomping on him. They were going to sacrifice me, he says as he pounds away on El-Qasim, who just passes out again.
I will lay over top of him and shield him with my body. No, Scratches, no!
We will jump on the donkey and wrangle it down away from the man that it's stomping to death.
The donkey's like, "Let me go. I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. Come, damn these little hooves."
Whoa there, friend. Whoa there.
Draxus walks to the door and ding-ling-ling, opens it up. Scratches, come inside.
He just gained his first level of barbarian.
Yeah. Scratches kind of snorts as only a donkey can. And then with these diminutive little clip-clop, 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 walks over to Draxus, looks at you. Well, fine. And then he walks inside the store. El-Qasim is once again unconscious and dying.
Yeah, so I will make a medicine check to try and keep him from dying.
Sure.
Because, I don't want to be spending all my spells on this guy.
If that doesn't work, I'll give him mouth to mouth. I'll make that sacrifice.
Bet you would.
He looks like he's a fantastic...
It doesn't work.
Smoker.
Step aside. I've seen this wound before. As he begins to try to resuscitate him as well. Oh, great. I have a 0 to this, Dave. So let's see if I can do better than your +3.
I just pictured you actually opening his mouth and going,
"Yeah, get some!" 17, guy.
17. All right. He stabilizes. He's no longer dying. He is just unconscious.
El-Qasim has this coming at him. And he's just like, "I'm good."
I think we got that trailer wrong.
All right, so yes, he's stabilized. He's no longer bleeding out. You managed to staunch the flow of blood from the hoof wounds. Valentine, no one seems to have responded to your call.
I will go out. I will see Barnabas blowing into this man's mouth, which for whatever reason resuscitates him.
Are you still inside?
Yes.
Okay.
And I look out the window that you're standing at and I said, "Is he alive?"
Barely.
Yes, I've saved him from the donkey.
The donkey attacked him?
Yes.
He tried to sell me to sun-sacrificing fools. Well, not tried to sell me. He did sell me. And yes,
Well-
technically I'm property, so I don't necessarily have the right to do that. But it felt good, damn it.
Okay.
How much did he sell you for?
I don't know. It was coins.
Why
Is
would
that
you,
the point?
why would
Does
you
it
sell
matter?
a talking donkey? As they kind of look down at the guy on the ground.
Well, Al-Kazim is still unconscious. He's only you've just stabilized him. You haven't brought him back yet.
The question remains.
Well,
Barnabas, you don't think that the giant magical space rock that hit the donkey made him talk? You think that this guy who writes about, I'm assuming magic, would have sold a talking donkey?
No, it happens here. There's these spirits that flow through things, and if they go through a donkey, they can infuse them and make them talk.
The donkey points a hoof at Vankus. What he said.
look,
Really?
he's
Scratches,
unconscious.
If those spirits went through a chicken instead, it would talk.
Who looks the fool now, Draxus?
Everyone listen. This is not important. We need to go, and we need to figure out where this man went that we are trying to find. He's here, and he's dangerous, and he needs not to get away again. So, bring
He
the man
was
in.
the one who stabbed Al-Qasim.
Who?
That idiot that you're trying to save.
He stabbed him?
Well, some bloke came around the back of the store and found Al-Qasim lying dazed in the alleyway, stabbed him a couple of times, and then left.
Oh, yes. Why does he have stab wounds? Nobody seemed to
I just told you.
try to kill him.
I thought it was the glass.
Why didn't anybody think of this?
Oh, yes, that's
not
definitely...
good. We
definitely
need
a
to
knife.
take him with us then. I will step outside the window. I will grab him and throw him over my shoulder, step back inside, and go, all right, no more killing him, no more stepping on him, no more stabbing him. There are rooms in the back that we need to investigate. Let's go.
Wait, Valentin, how unconscious is he?
I don't know, very.
Okay, great. Barnabas, do you recall our conversation on the way here about quests and the noble something Brax, and you need money for quests, and you should ask people for money for quests?
Indeed, it would serve a holy purpose.
Yep, sure, perfect. Now, not only did we just rescue this guy who we were going to ask for money for our quest, but now you guys have saved his life twice-ish.
And you robbed him from the counter.
Well,
No,
one of
what?
those times we may have endangered his life.
We did
That's
not rob
fine.
this man.
Either way, if
Nemia
you-
pulls another piece of bread off the other side to even it out, starts nibbling on it. Yeah, I saw you putting that in your bag.
yeah. You can ask him for saving his life. For more,
Oh, so put it in your bag just so when he says yes, it's already in your bag.
yes.
Sounds fair to me. Okay.
I'll squat down on the ground, kind of on my haunches, and look at Valentine and cock my head. Every time I've gone into stores, especially right after leaving Old Wolf, and I try to wander into the back areas, they always yell at me and say, "Get out, thief!"
Well, we need to find out why. Guy, do I remember what that guy's name was? The barmaid dude?
Balak.
Balak. We need to find out why Balak was here
And stab him to death.
and also stabbed him. He's obviously not awake.
Why
No, I
not
mean,
ask
stab-
him when he
stab
wakes up?
Alex.
Because he's not waking up anytime soon, and I want to conduct my own investigation. I don't
Okay,
condone
so
stealing anything, but I'm not the one doing it, so I don't really care.
I'll kind of like crawl over to where Al-Kazim is and lay my hands on him. Spirits of life and death, I call to you.
He's on my back. I'm just,
Oh.
here, just like, okay.
No, I just grab his foot. Spirits of life and death, grant this one your breath. And I cast Cure Wounds.
It's one hell of a foot massage,
No,
dude.
no more good soup. No, what? Huh? What? Why am I on your shoulders, young man?
Pull him over. I am very old. And I drop him on the ground, and I look down at him, and I say, so, you're going to answer our questions. We're not going to hurt you anymore, but you need to answer our questions.
He looks to the five of you, and then he says, all right, yes, I will answer all your questions. Just don't...
How do you know Balak?
Who?
The man who was here who stabbed you to death. What was he doing here?
Oh, he was a thief. He stole a book from me. I would not give him the book, so he stabbed me.
What book?
It is the book. You wouldn't understand. You're not of the scholastic type, so to speak.
You insult me.
I am a learned man. Perhaps I would understand better this book that you are speaking of.
Draxus just folds his arms and watches this.
I come from a well-educated family.
All
Please,
right.
go on.
Have you heard of the Tome of Jahalalas?
I have not. Why don't you fill me in?
Then my point is made. This is very ancient tome. Any of you can make a knowledge, not a knowledge, any of you can make a religion check, if you so please.
Sure can do.
I was going to say, what about a wisdom, but maybe not.
Religion check for me.
Religion.
Not history, religion.
13.
Draxus rolls a 1 because he's disavowed all religion and writes all their tomes off as nonsense.
I have a 17.
14.
Wow.
Nemia wasn't listening.
So, Vankus, somehow you know of this book. You don't pronounce it the way he does. He probably uses the traditional language that it's written in, but it's known as the Jadralas. It is a great tome that spoke of a love affair between the great god Brax and the sisters of secrets, the Kalasa. The tome talks about how Brax's heart was broken into multiple pieces and it had to be restored by his sister before he could continue to rule the cosmos as the ultimate god.
So I conveyed that somewhat to the rest of the group.
Okay.
Interesting.
Guy, obviously this interests me. Is this something that would be well known?
It's apocryphal as far as you're concerned, because...
I'm sorry, what is that in American?
About 17 inches. So...
Damn!
Everything's bigger in Japan.
All right, so let's rephrase. You don't acknowledge its existence because it speaks poorly of Brax. So once he mentions that, you're like, oh yes, that is the tome we do not speak of, because it indicates that Brax is fallible, and that he could have his heart stolen by the twin sisters Kalasa, which they don't. It would make complete nonsense. Brax is this all-powerful warrior. What do you mean he had his heart stolen by the goddesses? That's
jeez, Cody, it's apocryphal. It's a common word. What are you, homeschooled?
I done got my education down here in Texas, man. You're just gonna have to deal with that. So, boys, listen up. That is an absolute falsehood. Who would care for such nonsense in childhood stories?
I know, right, gods?
Thank you.
You have seen 2 miracles. I have brought you back myself with the power given to me from Brax. How could you still not believe?
Because it was also a miracle that he shoved a bunch of berries in your mouth and you woke up.
It was a different type of arcane knowledge. Everyone knows that.
Yes.
Yes, yours is also a different type of arcane knowledge.
Yes.
Al-Qasim raises his hand. If you're not going to rob or kill me, can I close the shop and go to bed now?
No.
I'm not feeling very... Oh, all
Why
right.
did he want this tome? Do you know?
You know what this shop is?
Bookstore. Something like that.
It is bookstore, yes. The book is very expensive. He did not want to pay for it, so we got into altercation. Usually I show stick, they leave, but this time...
What's his name again?
Balok?
No, you.
Al-Kazim?
My name, Al-Kazim.
Al-Kazim, if somebody just wanted money, they would go rob something much simpler, like a jewelry store, or maybe just take what was in your pockets. He took this book specifically, only this book, not for its value, but because of what was in it. So tell me why.
It is true, Old Wolf taught me stories have power.
Maybe that is so, but this is a first edition printing of that narrative, apparently written from the original book itself, which, of course, has long been lost to the histories of the... Well, we wish we still had the original book. This was a direct translation of the book. Transcription, not translation. Transcription of the book.
Do you have anything more expensive in this shop?
No. It is the only one of its kind that we know.
How much is it worth?
It was on the stands for 5,500 gold pieces.
And you did not have guards here to protect you during your negotiations. That is foolish, sir. That is foolish indeed.
I have never had such problems before. We are a quiet bookshop run. My wife and I run this store for many years. We've never had problems before. It was just...
A typical thief does not come to steal something like this from a bookstore. You can get a much better payout from anywhere else if you're going to come in with ogres and hyenas and rob. Like, it doesn't make much sense. 5,000 gold is a lot, but it's not an incredible amount.
One must always be vigilant for the desperate men that rob and steal. Though it does beg the question, where would they sell this book and how did they learn of it?
El-Kazim, do you have blank paper? You have parchment, inkwell?
Yes, I do. They would have learned of it by the flyer that I sent out about 4 days ago. I may or may not... When one is on hard times, you start to sell off possessions. And he glares at the donkey. And so then you take your prized possessions and you start selling them too. The book was going to keep us going for the rest of the year. If we sold it, we didn't think necessarily anyone would want to buy it. It's not magical. There's nothing in the book that gives you any... It talks... It's the story of...
It is one of a kind, though, which is why it's so expensive.
Well, it's a direct transcription of the original book. That is what makes it so worthwhile. You get many copies, but they are retold in different tongues. They've embellished on certain things. This was as it was written in the first book.
El-Kazim.
Oh, did he get away with the book?
Paper.
Yes. Well, I don't know if he's still here. I hope not. But he came into the alleyway. He was holding the book, and then he stabbed me, and then he left.
No, I'm just going to file paper myself. And he walks behind the counter.
So, yeah, there's sheets of paper behind the counter. He looks over at you. That's 1 gold a sheet. Or
yeah, we'll get to that. And he takes it out and starts like scratching with the a quill. And I'm trying to draw the best facsimile of the rod and the amber stone thing and show him these. And say, all right. I assume you've read all the books here. Do you know what these are?
Of course. You show him the rod.
Yes. And the amber dial.
The amber dial, he looks at that and he goes, that I don't recognize. But that rod, yes, absolutely. I know exactly what that rod is. That is a very, very powerful relic. You understand. You have drawn, yes?
Yes. What is it?
Oh, sorry. This rod, it gives the wielder... there is... he says as he looks at the 5 of you.
And the book and the rod.
And now it makes sense.
Now why would someone steal the book?
Okay, so book basically says that Drax fell in love with Kalasa twins, yes? The gods of lies and deception.
Sure. I've heard it.
They broke his heart into many pieces because they refused to love him back.
Impossible.
Barnabas, you want to step outside for this one?
Well, the book says it happened, and during this period, the world of Kar was... that is when the Great Sundering happened, because Brax was not there to keep everything together. But nonetheless, let us not look at facts as our basis of history. So the interpretation then is that the Heartstone was broken. It needed to be reforged. And the book then talks about how... the heart was reforged in the center of the world using that rod as part of a mold. The pieces of the heart were put into the mold. The rod is inserted into the mold, and that causes the heart to be reforged.
And
But
what
there are-
happens to the person who reforges the heart?
Well, in the story, it was the goddess, the sister of Brax, who did this, and it was Ner who did it. And she was a goddess, so he was very grateful for her and elevated her to the status of queen.
Of
The
Nemia,
gods. He married-
Nemia pays attention with that.
Correct. Yes.
okay.
Yes. If a mortal were to do it, you'd probably. I mean, Brax would be definitely in your favor, but there's why would you do that? His heart is not broken. He's still up there looking down upon us, and some of us he's dumping manure on apparently because, well, today's not been great.
Hey, Barney.
What?
Brax's colors are what now?
They are green and silver, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And we're missing a book about Brax's broken heart, a rod that puts his heart back together, and we have seen several green glowing stones that fell from the sky.
Oh, it's interesting that it's right here. And I point to where my heart is.
Yeah, and just about where a donkey's heart would be as well.
That's impossible.
Well, no, we
As you
literally
say
watched
this, Vankus does the Home Alone thing. I'm a prince. I married a princess. I'm a prince.
Jesus Christ.
Tune in
You
next
guys are
week
gonna be
for
so
next
happy
episode
together.
of Save or Dice. This has been Cody.
Hey, we are having a wedding in a few episodes, guys. Make sure you come back for that.
Very true story.
Vegas, you know what?
This is
I'm proud of you,
impossible, Draxus. It's impossible. Brax,
Okay.
his heart cannot be broken. He is the almighty Brax. He is the all creator. He is the king of everything.
Okay, let me try this. Hold on.
Praxis, are we going to have to put Valentine and Scratches together?
Wait, what?
No, this is, wait, hold on.
I've
Let me-
only done that once before, and I have to say I don't think it's for me.
Wow.
Nemia looks
I'm
at
a
the
pack
shotgun.
animal. I'm not designed to have a rider on me. That is what you were talking about, isn't it?
Oh. No, I've been to several shows in the Solosphere that didn't end the way I thought they would. And needless to say, prefer it that way, Scratches. Hold on. There's only so much dumb I can process at once. Okay. I think I have this. Okay. If this heresy were to pass, Barnabas, wouldn't you think that his broken heart would be cast in the path of one so righteous, a hero of Brax as yourself, to put back together? Guys, help me out here.
Barnabas doesn't say anything, and he kind of just slumps down into the nearest chair, and he's kind of just like he's having a moment with it where he's trying to like rationalize everything with himself, but he won't respond audibly.
I think Draxus looks to Valentin and goes,
This is kind of a win-win.
and he points to Barnabas.
Don't want this thing.
No, he's quiet, I meant.
I'll go over to Barnabas and pat him on the shoulder. We're going to fix it.
I mean, we can't fix the gods
Indeed.
because they don't exist, but we can fix what's going on here.
Let's run with this
we
theory.
have to fix it. Yes, that is of course. We'll fix
I want-
it, Vankus.
I walk over to Barnabas and I say, look, I don't know all of this about religion and history and all that, and I don't really care. From what I can tell in this current theory of magic and horribleness that is happening, no, you don't have the whatever you consider this piece of a heart that has been given to you. Your God has served you enough till this point. It's now your turn to repay the favor and help him.
It shall be the most noblest of quests to embark upon and to save not just a man or a woman or a countryside,
Or a donkey.
but the entire world. This, and I kind of like grab Vankus and like shake him like, and I'm getting excited. This is our duty. This shall be recorded in the history books to
I
be
put my
sworn
hand-
here forever.
I put my hand on Barnabas' shoulder. I'm like, yep, okay, yes, all right, calm down. Yes, good. I go over to what's his fuck on the floor, and I help him up, and I say, "All right, treat your stab wounds. Thank you for the paper." I give him a gold, and then I look at everybody and say, "We should start finding where whatever his name is."
Balak?
Balak, we need to find Balak.
Mountain, why'd you give him the gold? I thought we were coming here to get gold.
I point at his store, which is like destroyed.
No.
We don't need a store or wood or books. We need gold.
Sometimes knowledge can be better than just a mere monetary value. In fact, Al-Kazim, if you could, in the aftermath of cleaning your shop here, if you could put together as many books as you have regarding the breaking of Brax's heart and where it was reforged, even if they mention it tangentially, that would be great. And you'll be rewarded. Yeah, you'll be rewarded.
Nemia walks over. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it, Nemia.
Nemia walks over, and as she's handing the box back or putting it on the counter, she opens it, takes a gold out, looks at it, bites it, and puts it back and shuts it.
Oh, that box is sealed in Drax's bag.
Oh, you took it.
Oh, I stole that.
Can I do a sleight of hand to try to get in his bag while he's not paying attention while they're talking?
I never intended to give that bag. I stole it with an invisible servant.
She saw you. She's trying to get in there.
Yes. All right. Well, give me a sleight of hand to see if you can get into Draxus's backpack. But it is quite a large box. Al-Qasim looks around the ruined store and he says, "There's a book of poetry which talks about the great love between Braxus and Kalasi. If you would like that, it is steel for only 23 gold."
No.
Did you not just see us save you? I'm just curious if we're all on the same page here.
All right. Yes, you did. Yes. Do I get the donkey back?
No.
How much did you sell the donkey for?
I am ashamed to say it, but I had to pay rent for the store, which now is ruined, he says. He sort of looks around at the mess. I sold the donkey to those Yevonites. They were asking for, sacrifices, and I thought, well, it's just an annoying Bardesian, so I sold him for 150 gold pieces.
Nemia puts her ears over his head, so his giant ears, so he can't hear her talk about how much.
Grabs the donkey ears.
Yeah.
Al-Kazim, it occurs to me you have a copious amount of books here that are not being sold.
Yeah.
Apart from having just been 1/5 of a life-saving team of heroes, and he kind of looks at Barnabas. We also happen to be great friends with the Bolovian Sky Whale merchant. Now, what if we could broker some kind of deal in which you give us free whatever we want, and we help you sell your books off island?
Oh, yeah. What if you took your books on the whale and it went places and kids came onto the whale and they could buy them?
You could rebrand yourself as Scholastic Book Fair.
El
You're not sponsored by Scholastic Book Fair.
And you think this would be a successful venture?
I mean, you're going to lose this place anyway, and look at it.
It seems you have no choice.
With, and if it rained, you could even call it like the Reading Rainbow afterwards. It would be fantastic.
Perfect. Yeah. The Magic Sky Whale. Craft of knowledge.
A ride on the Magic Sky Whale. Yes, that's a great business venture as well.
Yes, and we can come see you for any knowledge we need because we're actually piloting the Sky Whale to save the world or something, I think. I don't know.
How long will it do I have? This sounds like it could potentially be something. Yes, I could do this. Maybe a few select tomes which are more valuable. Are you going to the Terrasphere?
I'm sure we probably could. I think we told him like 3 days, right? I think it was 3 days on the island. I think 3 days. You have 2 days to get your books without use of the donkey.
He bends down. He's sort of walking amongst the books that have been scattered all over the place, and he picks up this very thin tome. It's an anthology of love poetry as collected by Dame Sathkin Finch. and he hands over this little volume to you. That is the one that has the poem in it, but I should warn you, it's not very good, and it's very, 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 very long.
It doesn't look very long. If you find anything else regarding the broken heart of, at this point, I think any god will do. Let us know.
All right, I will clean up, get ready, and then we will join the Sky Whale for books on fins.
Yes, and don't books on fins. That won't fucking on you. In the next 2 days, try not to get stabbed more.
Oh, yes. That was a very unpleasant experience.
Good. Now, everybody else, we need to do 2 things. 1, we need to find Balok. 2, we need to get some money.
Did you say something about a dungeon?
Oh, there's like rooms in the back, but that's like his store, so...
Maybe probably not a dungeon. Yes, I agree.
Hey, what do you have in the back of your store?
Is it a dungeon?
We don't kink shame here.
No, it's just the bedroom and the living.
The back's a dungeon.
Oh my god.
They're beaded curtains.
Some nickel,
but it's like it's not a
right there, baby.
It's like an escape room that he does on the side.
Yeah, it's books,
it's
documents, pictures, and magazines, obviously.
Listen,
exactly.
All I'm saying is your business isn't doing very well. You got a lot of room back here dedicated to books that aren't selling. I mean, come on. Okay.
They take up space. There's a little garden for smokers out the back, but that's about it.
Never mind.
Yeah, he just indicates it's the living quarters that he and his wife used to share before she died. So now it's just where where he lives, basically.
I do have a question for you. So this man who came to procure this book, was there some form of arrangement of this meeting prior? Did he use any couriers that perhaps we might be able to follow the chain up, or did he? How did he communicate with you about this meeting today?
He was one of the first responders to the pamphlets that I distributed. He said that he was staying at the Evas Hotel in town. It's quite a big one. And that initially he wanted me to bring the book there, but I said no, because it's a very expensive book. One does not want to walk around the streets of Salaxodroma with the book under your hand.
Indeed, sir, indeed. But here is my question. When did he say to meet you at the Avas Hotel? How did he communicate with you initially from the flyer?
Oh, one of his ogres brought the note saying that either I should give the book to the ogre straight away and he will send payment. I am not that stupid. I know that one. So I said, no, it is not. He goes to the counter and he looks around and he's like, doesn't even notice that the chest is missing, and rifles through some papers, and he pulls out this folded note. Here we go. See? And he opens up the note, and you can see there's this very flowery writing, which basically says, I see that you have a copy of the Jadralas available. I would like to purchase it. Please bring it to the Evas Hotel. And you can see at the top of the paper the monogram of the hotel itself, the little stamp, which indicates the Evas Hotel.
And how is it signed?
At the very bottom, it's signed Professor Julian Balak.
Julian Balak.
Tell me, where would what are the nearby? You're a collector of fine books. Surely you would know of a university or a higher place of learning on the Isle. Could you tell us more about where the closest one might be? Where a professor might be? Should in fact he didn't give you a false name, of course.
Oh well. No, he is definitely Professor Balok. I have all intentions of, writing to wherever it is he comes from. So if you find out, that would be really useful. There is a university here at Salaxodroma, but it is a magic college. They are all crazy. Yeah.
Guy, as a scholar and professor,
yes.
Would I know Professor Balak? I know that name. Does it ring a bell?
Yeah, give me a history check. You have advantage.
Click the advantage button. Roll history. I rolled a 16.
Now that you kind of put the two together, Professor and Balak, and then you add the third component of Julian Balak, you seem to recall that that name was floated around for a while, but he was considered to be a complete and utter loony who basically was only interested in going after treasures that he could sell them for a massive profit. But he wasn't interested in going after the sort of the smaller prizes. He was looking for the original tombs of castles and things before the sundering, before the planet exploded. So he would write a paper every now and again to sort of almost earn credence for his professorhood, but for his tenure. But no one took him very, very seriously. He was based out of the university at Locksbrook, which is in the Terrasphere area.
So he's the opposite Draxus. He's the less successful spelunking professor.
Yeah. Although, yes, he claims to have found many great treasures, but he's still seeking more for whatever reason.
I knew I didn't like that guy.
So, I thank you for your time. We will be back to fetch you in your books to take you on your new Skywhale adventures, but for now, we must adventure on.
Flipper's books. What about that one?
I'm sorry, what?
Flipper's books. The flippers of the whale? No, and you flip the book?
All right, yes, whales have flippers. I assumed they were wings. But
No,
yes,
keep working on that
flippers.
one. Okay.
They're fins.
Although, you know what? I'm going to give you this one for free. Just because I thought of it now, and I think it's great. I think you guys are going to like this one. Reading, it's a whale of a time.
Wow, that was bad. I
Thanks.
walk out.
Yeah, we must off.
dear, I have nothing for that.
Amazing.
I was like, all right.
Hey, guy, are we level 4?
Yes, you level up now. Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yay.
Wait, that's the wrong sound. What's the Final Fantasy?
With such
Somebody
enthusiasm.
cut the shit out of that.
Copyright.
No, wait, that's the wrong song too.
No,
All right.
you're making it up as you go. Just pull your head.
All right, what you guys doing?
Discovering that I have a new feat.
New feats. All right, so you guys.
I want to. I'm going to turn to everybody and say, so we need to get some money. I think that's important because I think we should get maybe some new gear. I've heard that there's like magic shit that we could use as cool stuff, and we need money to get that. If we're going to fight Balak, he's very powerful.
Just from your general knowledge of the area whilst you guys are leveling up, Sal Axadrome is, like many cities in the Solar Sphere, constantly under the threat of attack from orcs. So there are always caravans and mercenary groups looking to hire individuals to beat back orcish incursions or to protect convoys from orcish combat. That's one of the easiest ways of making money. Usually that's how young men die, certainly up here in the Solar Sphere. Otherwise, they join the Yvonites. That's also a pretty short term of service.
It's joint. They do what?
They join the Yvonites. Those were those sacrificing people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's usually a short there.
We've gathered 2 stones. I thought we were going after the rest of the stones. I thought your chest was telling us which way to go.
Yeah,
Doesn't
where's the chest
full at
telling?
the moment.
Where's this thing telling me to go now?
Nothing at the moment.
I have nothing.
So what about you, Scratches? Do you feel like you need to go in any particular direction?
He looks confused for a moment, then he looks back at you. I usually just go when I need to go. Oh, you mean the stones? Oh, No, I don't feel anything. Nothing like before. Certainly not.
How did you make it work before, Valentin?
I don't know. It just communicated with me. Well, we could go fight orcs if you want.
I mean,
I don't want to really fight anyone.
Perhaps we should follow up at the Avasi Hotel.
we should also probably smooth over the deal we just made.
Let's do that.
Sky Whale as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Are there any potato sacks in the vicinity?
There are many, many, many sacks of things in the alleyways and in the streets. Some are empty, some are full, some you really don't want to go anywhere near because they used to have potato.
Can I find one that's like a little bit like a different, like it's clean, but it's just a different color? Mix it up a little bit.
Roll a d20 for me.
I'm going to make Venkus's wife so happy if I wear something different. Oh, no. Where can I? There we go.
Just a d20. What was your number?
7.
7. You look around. There is a sack which you think if you washed it, it would definitely be clean, but it's kind of been discarded. It has a rather interesting red stripe down the middle of it, which is unusual for a brown burlap sack.
She's going to take it with her for to clean and wear.
All right, you have one by red stripe.
I look everywhere for a donut store.
Jinx, have you ever thought about bagels?
I don't know what that is.
What donuts?
It's like bread, but it's round with a hole in the center.
You could put it on your horn. It's bread.
What? No, but then if I went like this and you see the bread stay in place because it's a little bit stale and it doesn't move, but then it would come off.
No, see, that's how gravity works. Is it just goes?
No, but I do flips and I jump off things and I'm.
Well, fuck. Sorry.
I appreciate it. It's very kind of you.
Are you? This is a walk and talk.
Bread.
Yes, this is a walk and talk to the whale or the hotel.
I think she turns her head a little bit. Do you like as they're walking? Do you want a snack? It's a little stale.
I pull it off and I flick it.
I just kind of like reach up and nibble on it.
She leans her head back after you flick it off. See, somebody can be nice about it. Simple no advice.
and then I offer her head to Leslie.
All right. So, are you heading back to the Skywell, or are you heading to where are you guys heading?
Hotel.
You're heading to the hotel.
Hotel.
Okay.
Everybody. Yeah. Hotel.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So en route, you pass through the market where there are indeed exotic breads from all over the place, in various shapes and sizes, but none of them are stale, or at least certainly none of them claim to be stale, and none of them advertise their stickiness or their anti-gravity sort of properties, unusual as that might be. Eventually, though, you do arrive at the Evas Hotel. It is a massive structure, brilliantly whitewashed and decorated with this very orange triangular motif all over the place. Palm trees grow out in front of it. And as the 5 of you arrive at the gates that lead up to the hotel, this very well-appointed elf steps forward, very neat livery, looks at the 5 of you and goes, "May I help you?"
I'm not talking.
I'm covered in blood, dude. Like,
Exactly.
Why don't you say something? Or maybe the chick with the brand new racing stripe could get us in.
Get us in where? Around.
We want to buy a nest for the evening.
God damn it!
Can we have half a week?
How much of these? And you could tell that she doesn't own any money, and she takes whatever they put on the table and goes, "How much of these assorted metals would it take for us to have a room?"
Okay, I push everybody aside and I come forward and I say, "We need a room."
I'm not entirely sure what you need, sir, but I don't think it's a room here.
I turn to Draxus.
Guy,
what are you doing here again?
Guy, what other schools are there that Draxus might be a part of?
schools. So here at Salaxodroma, there is definitely a college for studying the sun that you probably would have a little bit of clout with.
Okay, what is that place called?
The College of the Sun here. Okay, we'll give you that name right now. Let me just bring up the appropriate sheet.
So he references that. He says, excuse me, my lady, my comrades and I are here on behalf of the College of the Sun.
Taslot University.
Taslot University. I am seeking a companion of mine, a fellow professor. His name is Julian Balak. I was told he was staying here. We're here for a meeting of sorts. Could you direct me to where he is staying or where I may find his room, potentially, perhaps a room adjacent to his so that we may more easily meet?
Give me a persuasion check. It's a little bit tough considering that, as Barnabas pointed out, he is standing there with blood all over him. And then you have Vankus and Nemia, so...
17. I might be chewing on furniture.
Yeah. 17?
Yeah.
I was not aware that you were part of Tasselot University. You should have said that before. It would have made much more sense as to the companions that you have with you. Yes, Professor Balak is staying here. If you would... He then looks at the four of the others and at the donkey.
I'm sure you've noticed that Balak has traveled with ogres. I choose to keep slightly better company.
Hello?
I'm sure you think that, sir. Now, if you'll come with me, I'll show you perhaps to the lobby where I might summon Professor Balak if he is available. Your companions can join the ogres.
Oh, that's why we're here. Yes, I
pointed out. They're around the back at the stables with the rest of the animals.
Yes, perfect. That will.
Animals.
They have an ogre stable. That's amazing.
It's not so much of an ogre stable. No, it's well, you'll see what it is. He sort of snaps his fingers and this young page comes running out and he says, take take these to the stables where the ogres are staying. They're part of Professor Balak's retinue. And then he looks at you, Drax. Now, sir, if you'll come with me, I'll show you.
1 second, I need to confer with my companions here.
And he kind of takes a few steps away with everyone and looks to Barnabas and to Vankus and then lifts up his leather jerkin and you just see massive tears from giant hyena jaws. And he goes,
if I am going to meet with Balak alone, I'm not doing great, boys.
I will step forward and I'll go to the guy and say, I am his bodyguard. I am to accompany him wherever he goes.
He critically looks you up and down.
I pull out papers and I'm like, I was once a veteran in blah, 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 blah war. I killed blah, blah, blah orcs. I did this. I served in this militia, blah, blah, blah.
Out of 10.
Well,
that explains the look on the face. Very well. I suppose you can, but the rest must go to the back. You understand. Servants' entrance and all that.
Is Scratches with us?
Yeah, he's standing there quietly sort of chewing on a fence post.
Nemia's going to go over to him and just be like, let's go around back. I don't think we're wanted here. And she's going to start to walk away with him.
It's more fun round the back anyway, he says as he starts to trot along behind you. Vankus, you going with him?
I am, absolutely. I want to see the ogre stable.
Barnabas, are you going to heal up Draxus there?
First off, I'm tapped. I already spent it all. Keep the jinx up. I am Sir Barnabas Bray of Brianwood, follower of the mighty Brax. I have never been denied a room in my life. How dare you, sir? I am here on the most noblest of quests to protect this man in religious matters that are far beyond your capable understanding.
He's not
entirely wrong. And he says, I'm awfully sorry to be a bother, Sir Barnabas Bray, but you're covered in blood.
My dear lady, could you
I don't see the problem.
He's just gonna... Could you do me a favor? Could you you sent the page to lead them away. Could you, when you go get Professor Balak, could you lead him to the washroom so that he could perhaps clean himself up? He is, as he says, devout, etc., etc.
Well, far be it from me to stand in the way of a devout, etc., etc., sir. Very well, I will take you to a washroom, Sir Barnabas Bray, where you might bathe.
Thank you, sir. That is much better.
We'll add it to your tab, sir, he says as he starts to lead the three of you to the Evas lobby itself.
Before they go off, Draxus, I will give you some healing.
Hell yeah.
Take 12.
Yeah, I got nothing for you, bud.
Are you still injured?
I figured you guys were tapped. Yeah, I'm still injured, but that's fine. It's totally more than I had before.
Okay.
All right. So the three of you go into the lobby of the hotel, which is even more pretentious than its sort of front man. Large, lush carpets decorate everywhere. There's that politely irritating music that's being played by some poor bard who just couldn't cut it. Chandeliers drip money from the ceilings. Palm trees are in horrid, gaudy, gold-potted sort of pots all over the place, and there's that air of aristocracy here that thinks that wearing dead animals is something that looks good, sort of sitting in sedan chairs and drinking drinks that cost more than most of the people will earn in a year. They don't bat an eyelid as the two of you walk in. Barnabas, the concierge, looks at you and very quickly leads you through a side door. If sir will come this way. I think we have a hose somewhere that we can use.
Yes, not a problem. And I'm going to kind of hand him over like a little folded up piece of paper. It's actually sesame bread that I got from the bread shops. Like I just, it's like a little loaf of bread. I'm like, yes, please deliver this to my room.
Very good, sir. He turns back to you, Drax. So you are booking rooms then, sir?
I'm not. Had no intention. How much is a room?
42 gold pieces a night, excluding additional fees.
On second thought, perhaps I should hold on to that bread.
You grab the bread from his hands again. He has a knowing smile. Now let me call Professor Balak for you.
Perfect. Barnabas, if you would clean yourself and then join me here in the sitting room, that would be great.
I can do that.
Right. The two of you with scratches, so Vankus and Jenks, you head around the back of this large establishment and you arrive at the stables. Immediately you see Scratches start to look a lot more excited. And he starts to get that look of like a player. He's trying to look cool and casual at the same time as he sort of struts between all these large horses. He has this weird walk about him as he's sort of moving through everyone. You think he's whistling at some of the horses as he walks past them. And they kind of give him this filthy look. For a horse, it's quite difficult because of their eyes, but nonetheless, they do. You are taken by the page to this very large hay hall, this hay barn, and he opens up. He says, "Well, this is where the ogres used to stay. It's quite warm. We sometimes stay here when we work late shifts and things. But they left about not very long ago, maybe 10 minutes, in quite a hurry actually. So we haven't cleaned up yet, I'm afraid." So that's what you're seeing, Vankus, is this large sort of hay hall. You can see that there's some old blankets and things that have been thrown down and around. Obviously, people have been sleeping in them. Very large people have been sleeping in them.
Dave?
Sorry. This is adjusting something. So I'm just going to poke around and find like a big pile of hay to curl up in.
All right, that's
easy.
It's
a long day already.
It has indeed been a long day. Absolutely. So you curl up into that. Jenks, did you get that? Large barn full of hay with the ogres have just left.
I think she's going to, when they're first walking up, she'll kind of put her arm out in front of Venkus and be like, let's let him have this one, as he's just like strutting. And so when he, goes off in his own corner, I think she's just going to, is there a fire anywhere nearby or something?
There is a fire pit. It hasn't been lit. But yes, there certainly is one that you can make a fire in if you like.
I think she's going to spend a little bit of time making a fire and just curl up next to it.
All right. The page sort of looks at you guys. I'm just going to go and check that your employers have paid for a room here. I assume they have. I don't think it'll be a problem. And even if they haven't, I won't tell anyone. He says, and then he sort of...
You want some bread?
He looks at the bread on your horns. He takes a piece and he nibbles on it. He looks back at you and he's like, this is great. And then he runs back into the hotel itself to go and check on proceedings there. The concierge hasn't been gone very long. He comes back. I'm terribly sorry, sir, but it seems that Professor Balak has checked out of the hotel. Left about 10 minutes ago. You've just missed him. What a pity. You'll have to leave.
Oh, that's completely understandable.
I'm gonna insight that.
Sure.
Did he happen to say where he might be going? I believe our time schedules may have been crossed.
Yes. You might find him at Taslot, if that's... he's lying.
Where are we right now?
You're in the lobby of the main hotel.
How many people are in here?
Probably about 13 or so people.
Who's the closest person next to us?
That would be the concierge. So you're standing in front of that large desk. Then there's one other clerk standing behind that. And then the other 12 people are sort of sitting in chairs and things in the rest of the actual lobby itself.
I look over to Draxus and I say, how badly do you want to find him?
Does it look like you're about to do some dumb shit? I'm going to do dumb shit.
I have a very I have a very serious face at you.
Okay. Man, I think Draxus looks to you and he says, we do need to speak with him, but we should wait for our friend Barnabas to come back, and then we'll reassess and see possibly if we can figure out where he went to. And he kind of gives you like a look, like a knowing look.
Sure.
He has dumb shit face going on. It's about to happen.
You got that dumb shit face.
Care to wait for your companion to finish bathing, which I suspect
we'll
might
wait right here for him.
There is a serviceable bar over there, which you...
Not thirsty.
Very well.
Thank you, my lady. It was a great
Pleasure. And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a gold coin.
Is this a chick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is now.
I thought it was the whole time.
The coin is pocketed, and the concierge resumes their station behind the large desk, and just kind of watches you, Valentine, more than Draxus. Draxus clearly knows their way around the space. You, however, seem to be a bit of the one to watch. Barnabas, you're taken into this very white-tiled room where this very ruddy-faced, elvish laundry maid looks you up and down. You want me to wash that? She says, looking at your armor.
Yes, but I'm in a bit of a hurry. What could you do in the next 30 minutes or so?
She said, oh, come with me, son. I'll show you what I can do. And she leads you over to this large tub full of this brown water. And you can see they obviously take all of the linen and then they put it in there. And then there's a winch in the middle, or a capstan that slowly rotates, pulled by several donkeys that sort of churn the whole thing. She says, do you see the water in that in this tank?
Indeed.
Have a sniff of that water. It's got a very strange flavor. We put rose hips in there to make it smell nice. Just take a sniff.
I don't know why my dog is dying in the background.
I was like, who's dying?
Who's dying? Zeus, Hades, Athena, calm down.
Oh, that was Ben.
Yes, those are my dogs' names.
That's adorable.
I will. God, he's not smart, but he is wise. He's going to waft it this way as though you would smell something in a science lab.
Yeah, all right. You're smarter than you look. If you jump in there, it'll wash you straight up. It does smell vaguely of rose hips and also 300 years worth of, dirty laundry.
Perhaps I will pass. Just a bucket of fresh, clean water would help at least get some of this guts off.
She instructs you to stand over the drain, and you start hosing yourself down. Sure. I suppose you could say. All right, so that takes you a couple minutes. Vankus, Jenks, you guys settling in for the night, basically?
Did I have time to make a fire? Was I successful?
Yes, absolutely. It doesn't take you very long whatsoever. Both of you can give me perception checks, as a matter of fact.
Yes, sir. As soon as I get to that tab. I feel like she's very cautious of people trying to steal her bread. So as she's putting it away, she's looking around while she's starting to get snuggled up next to her fire. That's finally starting to do things.
All right. What were your perception checks?
Mine was a 16.
And an 11.
16 and 11. As you're sort of curling down into the hay, whoever was here before left a very large impression in the one area, and they kind of really flattened out the hay quite badly. So you sort of pulling it around to make it more nest-like, and you find in amongst the hay there's this half-torn page. It looks like it's it looks like a flyer from like a circus or from some kind of major performance. And it's coming from the town of Hightown, which is it's in the solar sphere next to you guys. But Hightown is a neutral town. It's one of the only neutral towns in this entire area. The flyer talks to a circus act thing that's going on. And it talks to this new performance of a fantastical woman who has amazing powers. And it's this woman, and it looks like she's got this green glowing rock at the center of her chest as she's flying through the air. It looks as if she's been shot out of a trebuchet. Anyway, that's what you kind of you find in amongst the straw and that sort of thing.
Oh, I don't know what this says, but there's another one of those glowing hearts. Scratches. I call for the donkey.
You call from, but you don't hear a response from him.
Guess he's busy. What do you think of this, Jinx?
She'll put her stuff down and just kind of do the crawling scurry over, because she didn't want to do this, too far away. But she'll kind of scurry over and look down and go, "Can I touch it?"
You can. I just hand it over to you. I don't know what it says. The woman, the glowy stone in her heart.
She wouldn't know anything about this. I'm not gonna get it. She wouldn't know anything. So she goes, "Huh. I've never been to any type of schooling or had a family to teach me these things." She's pretty much saying she can't read.
Well, that's completely what I was saying as well. Odolph was going to teach me about letters, but then he died. Maybe Scratches can read it. So
that actually makes me feel a lot better. Thank you.
Let's go find Scratches.
I can't believe we split the party so my guy could go take a bath and the two illiterate bastards are the only ones that got the Scooby-Doo piece of information.
To be fair, it's usually Scooby and Shaggy. Right now, he's definitely Scooby and I'm Shaggy.
Guys, here's important information, and we're like, I wish I could.
All right.
You know what would help right now if I could
parental guidance.
You can.
Barnabas finishes washing up and rejoins the two of you in the lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, like while he's washing up, I think Draxus would have looked to Valentin and said, "What was that about?"
I'm still at the counter watching the concierge.
Who's watching you? There's
Yeah.
this sort of watching going on.
Oh, so you're not even in the lobby.
Right by the concierge. I have not moved.
Oh, perfect. Then that gives Draxus plenty of time to be alone.
I'm
and
also
do that.
disappearing into the Matrix. Sorry, guys.
You are slowly.
No,
Max
you're
Headroom.
like Penelope from Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Max
Thank
Headroom babies. Yeah, I guess if Draxus is alone in the lobby, casually sitting, in a professorly stance, he like looks around to make sure no one's near him, and he kind of leans to one side and speaks to no one and says, "Tiberius, watch the door." And you see like a shimmer, and his servant walks towards the door, and then he looks around again and sort of leans back and leans to the other side and says, what the hell did I name this thing? Balalos something? I don't know. He says, Balazar, see if you can find his room. And some of the runes around his eyes and neck and hair tendrils begin to glow, and a pseudo-dragon shimmers into appearance, and then it turns invisible and begins to fly up the stairs. Because I have a Pact of the Chain Warlock.
That's great.
And so it turns invisible and begins to shimmer up the stairs and look for the professor's room.
All right. What's its movement speed?
I think that's like a fly speed of like 60.
Yes,
Okay.
fly speed
All right.
of 60.
Makes sense. Usually it would have. Barnabas, you see that Valentina is having a staring competition with the concierge, and she is staring straight back.
I come up. I'm kind of like. I'm first off. I'm obviously I'm not totally soaked, but there's parts of me that are still dripping wet onto the nice, beautiful, pristine floor. And I just kind of come up oblivious to kind of what's going on as far as like something might not be right here. And then she goes, "So who is winning the contest?"
I turn towards Barnabas, and I look at him,
The staring
And then-
contest. Who's winning?
and then I look over at Draxus. It's this kind of like moment of silence, and I'm gonna nod at Draxus. Do I get anything back?
Yeah, he looks at you kind of confused for a second, and then looks to the door, and then looks to the stairs, and then looks back to you and nods.
Okay, where's the nearest person that isn't the concierge or Barnabas?
That would be the clerk who's quietly standing there doing what all desk clerks do in a hotel, which is reshuffle papers and pretend like they're busy.
He's across a desk from me, though, right?
Correct.
Is there anybody who's not behind the desk?
Yes, sitting in a rather comfortable wicker chair is this rather old-looking lady. She appears to be taking tea with her husband, who thinks that pouring it into his lap is how one should actually drink tea.
Is there anybody else?
Yes, there are 10 other people. There are a cluster of young men who are sitting quietly reading newspapers of some kind.
Is there anyone else armed?
Does anyone look fightable?
No.
Is there a young woman?
Chumps.
Yes, she's leaning up against the bar. She's trying to chat up some old man.
I walk over to the young woman.
She looks you up and down,
I say-
and immediately she smiles.
I say, hello.
Well, hello. What brings such a handsome devil like you into a place?
I hold out my hand and I say, let me show you.
She takes your hand and she sort of leans up against your chest and she whispers into your ear, "I'm 15 an hour."
Oh, good. And I walk my way over to the concierge.
He whispers back, "How much for 15 minutes?"
I say, I'll pay you in just a minute. I look down. I go over to the concierge. I look back at Draxus. I turn her around. I hold her up against me. I pull out my dagger and I hold it to her throat. And I look at the concierge and I say, "Bring me," fucking forgot his name.
Balak, Julie.
Balak. And I say, "Bring me Balak, or this woman bleeds all over your clean floors."
Valentine, what are you doing?
This is important, Barnabas. We have to find him. He's here somewhere.
I draw my sword and kind of point it over at Valentine. I am not sure what game you're getting at, but no part of this is part of Brax's holy quest that he has sent us on.
Barnabas, you idiot! We have to find this man if we're going to help Braxis.
Not by
Help
spilling
me.
an innocent woman's blood.
She can't help resisting. Well, innocent. Draxus, what are you doing whilst this is escalating?
Sitting there bemusedly.
Just sitting bemused. All right. The concierge is there is absolutely no need for such actions.
Doesn't have to happen. Just tell us where he is.
It's not going to happen, Valentine. Let her go.
The concierge seems to be waiting to see what happens between the two of you before she acts.
I look over at
Barnabas? Or at the concierge or at Draxus?
I look over at Draxus. I see that he's just sitting there, and I'm slowly just glitching my way out of existence. And I am.
Is it raining, buddy?
No, it's not. It's not raining. It's just my fucking computer.
Did somebody turn the sprinklers on?
Yeah, I know.
We'll do a rain dance for you.
Why are you doing the Macarena?
I was going to say, that takes me back and
Because
forth.
I figured that Jacob wouldn't know what the fuck that was.
I grab the woman, I turn, I throw her at Barnabas, I jump over the desk, and I'm going to pin down the concierge.
There's just pandemonium as you do that. Barnabas, do you grab the woman because she's sort of falling forward?
Oh, yeah, I've got you, my lady. And, yeah, he's a gentleman.
All right.
At
The
times.
concierge. This is most inappropriate. Absolutely. This is why we don't let people come in.
Now you're lying.
He's on the roof. He's on the roof. He's
He's on
taking
the
one of
roof?
our private balloons. Yes, he's
Are
on
you
the.
certain about that?
Yes, I'm certain about that, sir. There's no. I don't understand.
Stay here. I get off and I go over to Barnabas and I look at Drax and says, "The roof. Let's go."
Well, that's escalated. And he looks up towards the ceiling and he mumbles under his breath, "The roof," as a telepathic command to Balazar, the pseudo dragon, and begins to follow Valentin up the stairs.
I'm sprinting. I'm running.
Barnabas?
Yeah, I'm gonna tear off after him because I'm still kind of pissed and not really sure what the hell's going on.
On the plus side, Jesse, thank you for the super chat. We're probably going to need it to bail Valentine out of jail. So we appreciate that.
Provide Jacob a new camera.
Also,
Yeah.
Jacob is still here. I just turned his Zoom off because I don't know if any of you guys have epilepsy.
Sorry.
And I want to be
I would unplug it and replug it back in, but it would probably just fuck the whole camera up. So, you know what? I'm just going to do it because it's horrible.
Do it, because I'm the only other person. I'll turn mine off.
This is good.
This is high quality shit here, guys. No, so yeah, I'm gonna tear off after him as well.
You're running off after
Dream,
him.
is this
Right,
how you do it?
absolutely. Okay, so Draxus, you're not. Sorry, did you say you were running after them as well after giving
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
silent
yeah.
command?
He's following Valentin. As soon as Valentin says where he's on the roof, he
Yes.
lets Balazar know that they're going to the roof, and then he follows him.
All right. So you guys start running up these stairs. Your Balazar arrives at what they think is the upper space. Do you get to see what they're seeing, or do they send you back imagery?
Neither. I can see what they see if I'm in a certain proximity to them, but I can't see anything. But we have a telepathic communication, so I sent it. It's a sentient being, so it can do whatever it wants.
Okay.
Yeah, so it knows that we're going to the roof, and like it was told to go there.
All right. It reports back that you know that the structure is 4 stories high. It has zipped quite quickly because it moves at 60 feet around, right?
Mm-hmm.
It gets ahead of you quite quickly and reports that there is a balloon with several people around, and they seem to be getting into the balloon or waiting for the balloon to inflate completely before they start moving.
At what point did it say that?
So you've been chasing up the staircases. You're probably now on the 2nd floor by the time it got to the 4th floor and reported that back.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna chance it and shout down the hallway back out towards the lobby and just say, "Tiberius, get the rest!" And hope that my unseen servant heard that and can actually follow through and get the rest.
You're now moving. I think Unseen Servant has a range of 100 feet.
Only 60 feet.
Oh, is it only 60 feet? So you've gone up 2 floors, plus you've sort of run through the lobby. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know.
Yep.
You don't know what's happening there. Absolutely. There is a sound of running footsteps approaching both you, Vankus, and Jenks. They sound quite urgent from outside.
So, quick question. The time we've been in here, would that have been, was it long enough to be a short rest?
No, it's probably been about half. Well, a short rest is an hour, right? Yeah, yes. Probably it's only been about half an hour.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll gather up scratches. I've been looking for him anyway because I want him to try and read this.
Right. Yeah, you're kind of looking around for scratches, and eventually you find him. He kind of sort of comes trotting out of one of the stable doors, looking very proud of himself. He looks over at you and, well, how are you doing today? He sort of says,
good, but the last time I wandered out with a look like that, I ended up a prince. Are you a prince now as well?
Well, I certainly treated her like a queen.
Well, that's good. Can you read this? And there's a lot of commotion going outside.
Yes, Zoglot Circus. It's going to be performing in a high castle in the next week or so.
High Castle, is that in this city or is that it's in another town, right?
Hightown, sorry, yes. I don't know where that is, but that's what it says there on the paper.
Maybe we should find the others and show them. See the woman, she's got a glowing stone like you and Valentine.
Oh, so she does. That's well spotted there, I think.
Do you know her?
I beg your pardon?
Do you know her?
Never. To be perfectly honest, most of you all the same to me anyway. All just knees.
He's a miniature donkey now.
He's not the greatest sized donkey ever.
Well, let's get Jenks. Jenks.
Mm-hmm.
This paper says where the woman's going to be.
The paper says, what are you talking about?
Scratches read it to me.
Oh. And she grabs her stuff. She goes over.
I'm like really excited. Scratches can read. Maybe he'll teach us.
You see her shoving bread and stuff in her bag.
Pretty thick if I couldn't read. It's not that surprising, really, if you think about it.
All I heard was pretty thick. I'm trying to put bread in here. What?
As you're going through that, you hear this bell being rung quite frantically, and then the sound of running feet from the stable yard and the hotel itself.
Yeah, so I guess we'll poke our head out to see what's going on.
Okay. You can see the concierge that was shouting at you guys earlier, or that was sort of sending you away, is standing on the street side, sort of waving their hands frantically and shouting something to sort of people in the general masses, whilst the little page boy is busy ringing a bell just outside. Back to the three of you as you're racing up the stairs. You're now getting to the 3rd floor. You hear a bell being rung outside. It sounds like an alarm bell or a warning bell.
It's me, Barnabas, and Draxus running up the stairs, right?
All right.
Okay. While we're running up, I would be explaining to the two of them, especially to Barnabas, to say, I wasn't going to kill her. It was just a ruse. It wouldn't hurt anyone innocent. I need them to tell us where Balak was. Barnabas, sometimes you need to have a little faith.
And sometimes you need to have a little bit more honor, sir. And I'm like racing up after him.
Running up the stairs. It's like, this is leg day today.
My back.
Draxus, your observer is reporting that it looks like it's Balak and two very large humans. They're almost not giants, but they're very big. And then it looks like some hotel monkeys are busy they're getting ready to get into the basket. They've loaded in some books or some crates.
Yeah, he whispers back to it. How sturdy is the balloon?
What is this creature exactly?
A pseudo dragon.
It's a dragon the size of a cat.
It's a
Yeah,
dragon.
Has a cat, has like a,
I'm trying to think what a pseudo dragon would make of that kind of question.
so like by default they have an intelligence of 10. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're at least as smart as Barnabas.
He's smarter than me.
And
There
me
you
as
go.
well.
Guy, base it off of that.
Looks strong, I guess.
Get him to poke some holes in it.
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, he says, sting the balloon. And pseudo dragons have a ability that sting. It's a piercing attack.
Yes. Won't that drop his invisibility though?
Absolutely. I'm hoping it's a giant balloon and he just flies towards the top of it. But yes, it would drop his invisibility.
Oh, all right. He disappears upwards, supposedly. The three of you are arriving at the door, which you know leads out onto the roof.
I slam it open.
Valentina's in the front. You slam it open. You see Balok is climbing into the balloon. He's got two ogres standing next to him, and then there's a very surprised-looking hotel balloon operator sort of looking at the ropes and things that tie the balloon to the deck. That's what you're seeing. We're going to have to go into initiative for this one, please.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they're not too happy about having their party crashed.
Oh, poor babies.
And I'm going to ask for initiative as well from Jenks and from Vankus. Two, please.
I nat 20'd it.
Nice.
Way to blow your load.
Is that initiative?
Yes, please.
I still have no hit points.
If someone could tell me how to roll initiative for monsters, that would be dope.
Just open up NPCs, open up the pseudo dragon.
I have one, but how do I? Where's the initiative?
Oh, it's just going to be a dex check.
Okay, cool.
Guy, my initiative is a 13.
Thank you. Barnabas?
3.
3. All right. Vankus?
Tree fitty.
I beg your pardon?
17 for
17 for Draxus. All right.
no, nat 20 for Draxus.
Oh, no.
And 17 for Balazar, the pseudo dragon.
All right. Vankus, what do you get?
I've got what did I get? I got a 10.
10. Okay. And Jenks?
Jenks got a 10.
10 as well. All right. Okay, and I got that. All right, so acting first in this round is Draxus. The door has been pushed open in front of you. These two large ogres are turning to look at you. Balak is in the balloon.
Yeah, he immediately stops, and I'm going to Eldritch Blast the balloon.
You're going to Eldritch Blast the balloon.
The balloon.
All right.
Yeah, I don't want that thing going anywhere.
This is so nice.
How do I use spells again? Okay, cast. 11 on balloon.
11 on balloon. All right, that hits the gigantic balloon that's directly in front of you. It nearly misses, but it doesn't. It impales it. Do your damage.
8 force damage.
All right, 8 force damage. To your dismay, that does not cause a satisfying puncture that then slowly starts to flap and release the hot air that's being built up inside of it. It does, however, severely scorch the fabrics that have been held together by the canvassing net. Balazar is next.
He continues to be invisible because I can't control him and shoot things at the same time because D&D 5e rules.
All right, so he kind of just hovers there going, I know I was going to do something, but he's not sure. Valentine.
How many guys are there?
2 ogres and then the hot air balloonist from the actual hotel themselves, but they're not doing anything.
What's Balak doing? Like, what's he
Balak is currently looking up with this expression of anger upon his face.
How far away is he?
He's about 45 feet away from you.
I will dash and get right up to him. My plan is to run as fast as I can and like grapple him and get onto the balloon with him, possibly.
Okay.
But I want to get
dash for now. Perfect. You dash up to him. It is then my turn, and so the ogres are not particularly keen on you doing that. They are going to both attack you as is their want.
Hey, question: have we had a short rest since our last fight?
No, you guys just kind of wandered straight there. So
Okay.
no short rest at all. They swing at you, and they hit an armor class, oh my gosh, of 24.
Yep.
I'm assuming that's a hit, and the damage is 8 points of damage.
Ouch. Not good.
Oh, God.
Not good at all. So that's the first one. The second one, let me just find him quickly. I did not anticipate that reaction, but that's what we love about this game, isn't it? He swings at you as well, and he hits an armor class of 11, which is
Nope, I dodged that one.
They kind of both swing at you. Balok looks at you and hisses and says, "You just don't know when to give in, do you?" And he will point his hand at you. Would you please give me a wisdom saving throw?
Yes. That's a 19.
19. He points his hand at you and he shouts, "You will stop."
Wait. I don't think it rolled. I'm sorry. It's a 20. Never mind. Not natural. So it's good. It's all good.
The effect is the same. He commands you to stop, but you don't stop at all.
I'm done listening to orders.
Jenks and Vankus, you guys are outside. You're on the same initiative, which kind of makes sense. You see that the concierge has now managed to flag down a squad of 6 fairly well-armed city guard and is frantically gesticulating inside. The page boy is still ringing the bell. The concierge tells them to stop. This young woman comes staggering out of the hotel looking as if she's been brutally manhandled and possibly stabbed and is just completely destroyed by the evil predations of some lecherous being from within. At least that's all of what she's conveying with her sort of walk as she's desperate for sympathy and coin. That's what you're seeing happening out there. What are you doing?
I want to approach the concierge. What's going on? What's all the excitement?
You guards, arrest them. They came with the barbarians who attacked. And she looks over at the woman who's sort of leaning there. Attacked Ma'am Giselle in broad daylight in front of all of my customers.
What are you talking about? We were in the barn where you said we had to go.
You're part of your friends, for lack of a better word, attacked Miss Giselle, and it's they threatened me with my life.
I'm hearing a lot of they did this and they did that while we were minding our own business.
Are you saying
Is it legal to know someone who does a crime?
The guards kind of look at you and then they look at each other, and there's I don't know. Is it illegal to know?
The answer is no. We're not lying for them.
We didn't even know. We didn't even know it happened. Are you sure it happened?
If you want some bread, we could talk about this.
All right, combine. Give me a persuasion check. One of you is helping the others, so one of you has advantage on your.
I get a roll. I got 0. How's that? There you go. I got a 5.
You have advantage though, so you get to roll.
Roll it again. Come on.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, we're going to jail. It's all your
5.
Yeah, the guards kind of glare at you as well, and the captain steps forward and says, "I think it would be best if you all just stayed right where you are." And he kind of points to 2 of his men. Stay with these 2.
I'll just sit down cross-legged style.
Nemia's gonna go, "Oh my god," and point at the sky at the we can see the balloon, right?
From here, yes, you can see the top of it, correct.
Oh, she's gonna say, "There's a hot air balloon on the roof."
The concierge looks over. "That's none of your business, thank you very much."
She tries to grab Venkus and run.
But Venkus is kind of sitting cross-legged. Give me a strength check there, Jenks, as you grab Venkus and try and run.
About that.
How about that?
11.
11.
She's not trying to hold him. She's just trying to tug and like pull.
Yeah, there's some tugging, there's some pulling. Vanker, so you're going to sit where you are. The guards now they're lowering down their spears and they're kind of getting ready for a fight. You can see that this is not going well whatsoever. From you guys, we then swing to Barnabas.
So yeah, Barnabas finally, I guess, makes his way to the roof, right? So this
You're behind. You were behind Valentine. He's charged in now.
Yeah. So okay. So here's the thing, guy. Last time Barnabas tried to be a hero because of these rules that possibly could be adjusted in a 5.5 edition of D&D. Because I tried to grapple the priest, he just turned to stab me a bunch. I would like to not do that. But I would like to move up to him and lock his arms down and restrain him with the intent of the next round to like hold him close to the ledge. If this guy is a spellcaster, which clearly I've seen as he tried to cast spells at Valentine. Sure. So that's what I would like to do with my big, strong character is move over, grab him, and the next round push him to the edge to get him to call his men off. Yeah, the dude that tried to cast a spell at you, right?
Yeah, he's like 45 feet away. I had to dash to get to him.
Yeah, he's inside the Yeah, so I'll take your impassioned speech about the rule system under consideration. But yes,
tell you what. Okay, so if I could dash, I could get to him, right?
Correct.
And that'd be 60 feet. Okay, great. Yeah. So can I just dash into him and bull rush him and knock him the fuck off the ledge?
He is in the basket.
He's in a basket of a hard everything.
Yeah, so the basket is going to give him an advantage. You could probably dive onto him in the basket or try and dive onto him into the basket. There is a risk with that.
If he's in the basket, what I would like to do is run and then leap on top of him like a big football tackle. That's American football. And try to knock his ass down.
Dang it, Cody.
Basket. Why?
You're from Texas.
No, that's what I wanted to do on my turn, but I didn't do it because of the rules.
Well, sometimes I was like, I can only dash. You tell the dungeon master, this is what my character would like to do.
Right. Correct.
And that's what I would like to do. So you tell me what you would like me to roll.
All right. So at the rules, you run up 30 feet, then you dash the remainder of the distance, and that takes up your turn. So next turn, you can then leap onto him and grab him, unless you want to try and make a leap check of 15 feet, which would be an acrobatics check.
Fuck yes. Let's do that.
So you run your 30 feet, and then you just dive.
I mean, I'm not going to fall off the building, right?
No, there's little chance of that, unless you roll a 1.
I love that, like, Valentine is, like, running meticulously, and Barnabas is just like, blah! He just flies forward.
So, here we go. You son of a bitch! Save the dice 4! That is a 7.
All right, so you go rushing forward. You try and leap. You stumble, you slam into the side of the basket. You don't, unfortunately, get to grapple with Balak. That drags us back to the top of the round. Draxus, what are you doing?
Draxus is going to try to find out where the hell his saving throw DC is on Fantasy Grounds. And then...
Versus his spell?
Yeah, what the hell's mine?
It's 8 plus your proficiency plus the spell level.
Oh, that's true.
Plus your modifier, sorry.
Yeah.
So 8 plus 2, so it's 10 base, and then your modifier is your war.
I think it's 12. So he is. It's clear that Barnabas and Valentin are going for Balak. He kind of crouches down, puts his. I guess he has no weapons because he's in a hotel, but he begins to pull out and load his crossbow, and he like nods to where the invisible Balazar is, and then nods to Balak. And my action is going to be to have the pseudo dragon attack with his sting, which I think I can do.
He can do straight away because he's next in the initiative.
Does your Find Familiar work as the Find Familiar spell, or is it different?
It works as the Find Familiar spell. So as my action, it can attack.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can forego my action to make it attack. The difference is with Pact of the Chain, it can actually make an attack.
Okay. I was going to say Find Familiar doesn't let you attack with the pseudo dragon, but if that's cool. Great. Yep.
Does 13 hit Balak?
14 doesn't hit Balak. Let's open up Balak's. It does indeed hit Balak.
Get wrecked. Ah! Okay, Balak needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, snap.
He takes 3 piercing damage and needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
17.
Well, he succeeded. Okay, so he takes 3 damage.
3 damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Balak is stung.
And now there is a large cat-sized pseudo-dragon with a tail stabbing Balak, completely visible at this moment.
That's causing some panic. Okay, Valentine.
I jump into the thing, the hot air balloon. And are we like going liftoff? Like, is this thing gonna go?
There are ropes that are anchoring the balloon to the roof at the moment. They are taut, so the balloon obviously has upward momentum at the moment. Well, it certainly wants to go up. Let's put it that way.
I yell at Barnabas to cut the ropes, and then I look at Balak, and I'm going. What does he have? A staff?
No, he's basically in the sort of leather jerkin, traveler's kind of clothing. You can see he has a book in a very ornate leather bookcase. Bookcase at his side. Other than that, he wasn't armed. He was not expecting.
I use my hands and I want to grapple him, but by the neck. I want to like hold him down and like choke him.
All right, so it's a grapple check. Give me athletics or acrobatics.
All right. That's a +3 because I'm not a strength fighter.
Yeah.
Boop. Oh, come on, D20. There we go. That's an 18.
18. Whoops. Okay. Well, you're sort of holding him and you're binding him. He is trying to get out, but he is not a physical person at all. So you grapple and bind him while shouting, "Cut the ropes! Cut the ropes! Cut the ropes!" Mm-hmm. That's what you were shouting. There are now 2 ogres that look to the basket, then they look at you, Barnabas. One of them smiles and walks up to you and says, "I don't think you're cutting no ropes." And he attacks you.
Dodge.
You dodge, and you, unless your armor class is 12, you succeed in rolling to the side.
Hey, you dodged, Cody. Good job.
With a loud grunt.
You roll to the side. Then the other ogre says, "Oh, you stupid. That's not how you hit Yumis. This is how you do it." And he swings at you again.
I raise my shield.
23.
Oh, not in time.
You raise your shield, you're like, and take 15 points of damage as this club just slams the shield into your face, knocking you over.
Oh, no.
I just want to listen to Guy do ogre voices for the rest of the day.
Yes.
All right, so that's what happens there. Balak is busy wrestling with you. He's going to try and, his entire action is to try and break that grapple with you. Yeah, so that's what he's going to do. You've got to beat a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
I can do that. Boop. Yep. As he's trying to break free, I just headbutt him.
Ow! Oh! All right, so you headbutt him. That is Balak done. That takes us to Vankus and Jenks. There are 2 guards that have been left with you. The other 4 have rushed inside. The guards are looking at you both with that look of, "Please don't run, because we really don't want to chase you, but we kind of have to because it's our job to run. So we're going to stand here and look menacing."
So I turn to Jenks. I'm like, "If we run, it makes it look like we did something wrong."
Okay. I have a solution. Hear me out. Scary guard people. We're going to go sit by the fire slowly because it's cold. And then I'm going to eat bread and he's going to sit there and we're going to talk about stories. Right, Venkus? And you see her kind of like put the little green gem as she pretends to scratch her back into the pouch. Her little satchel.
It's a poster of a woman with a green gem. Remember, it's not the actual green gem itself. It's a poster.
Not the poster. She's going to try to just stick it behind her between the back and the.
Have you ever thought about toasting the bread? You're going to be near a fire.
Well, my face would get awfully hot.
They're like, toasting the bread. What? The one guard.
He's got a spear.
Ooh.
What I like to do is take a little bit of oil and put it on the bread before I toast it, and then that's it. The other one's like, "Fuck you! What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, sorry, yes."
What if one of you goes and gets oil and we sit down? I promise we won't run. I'll even give you some bread as a sign of good faith. And she takes a slice out of her bag and holds it out.
I wish you could see my rolls. I really wish you could see my rolls. The one looks at the other and is like, it is nearly lunchtime and they don't think they're going anywhere right now. But we are supposed to be guarding them. Wait, if we go get the oil will use you will wait here, yes?
Only one of you has to go. The other one can watch us. We're not going anywhere.
Ah, you see, you idiot. Yes, only one of us has to go. Okay. The one known as Farkir, he goes and sort of, he takes a few steps away. He kind of looks back. He looks at his companion. He looks at the two of you.
He would
5
see
minutes. 5 minutes, he says. And then he rushes down the street.
He would see her putting the bread on top of his spear. And now roast the bread. That was a good idea, Vengus. That was good.
That's what you two are doing.
I've been
Barnabas,
watching Leslie in the kitchen. She's giving me all kinds of ideas.
Barnabas, please don't die.
Barnabas Bray of Brianwood with his sword, Bobo, follower of Brax, will make a death saving throw.
Against ogres again.
I don't want to do this. Oh, it's a 10.
Oh, nice.
Oh my
Nice.
god, it's a 10.
You're
Nice.
okay.
I'm not bleeding out yet.
not yet. Not yet, but who knows? Because we will find out next week when the adventures.
Bitch!
Wow. Fuck you, guy.
Damn it. God damn it. Oh.
Me. Anyway,
Well
thanks,
done, Fat Goblin.
Thanks, Guy. Thanks for keeping up with our antics.
Well done, Fat Goblin. Somebody has pointed out on the chat, and I think it should be pointed out for next week, that because we have not had a chance to short rest yet, that also means that our villain, our enemy, has not had a chance to heal or short rest since our last
He's been
encounter.
chilling on a ceiling with a balloon. Like investigating and shit.
But only for like 30 minutes. Nah, dude, we chatted in the library, and then we went up to the roof.
correct.
I would also point out that
Rest assured, So the technical difficulties were my fault. I will take that responsibility.
It was
now.
everybody's fault. It was craziness.
Something happened. Anyway,
Well,
so
let's
we,
not
No,
blame
no, no.
Vengus and them yet.
Let's not blame anyone unnecessarily because Jacob's here.
Yeah, that's true. I'm the reason everything fucked up today.
Guys,
Anyway.
That's not true.
Anyway, so I do have Fantasy Grounds open, and I still have the sheets open from the last session. So rest assured, I have been keeping track of Balak in terms of what hit points he was on
Very nice.
and what spells he does have. So,
Guy, what we need you to do
well pointed out.
is before our next stream, we need you to learn Japanese so that whenever you have router issues again, you can actually,
Fix them without having to phone technical
We
support.
are not sponsored
Yeah.
by Rosetta Stone.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get out of here, we got a few different things real quick. Of course, we got to give some big love to our sponsors. Those sponsors have been with us for ages and ages, and we are seriously eternally grateful. Thank you, Fantasy Grounds, for being our virtual tabletop of choice. You guys can check out Fantasy Grounds. We highly recommend it. It's awesome. It's really a great piece of software. In addition to that, all the maps that you guys have seen on Saber Dice since day one have been built in Dungeon Painter Studio, which it's like $15 on Steam, and you can make infinite maps. It's if you're playing online, you should definitely have Dungeon Painter Studio. I mean, you just should. And then, of course, we also want to give a huge shout out to Elderwood Academy. You guys can see some of their sweet swag up here behind me on my shelf. They make some of the coolest and sickest gaming accessories that you guys are going to find. So all of those links down in the description, those help out the channel if you guys go check out our sponsors and show them a little bit of love as well. The new show, Saber Dice After Dark, is for our new Patreon so that we can help pay for our cast. That is a more raunchy and more wild show that has nothing to do with our flagship show here. This will continue to stay on Wednesday. Storm Nights will continue to stay on Tuesday completely for free. There's no paywalls. That's just bonus content available if you guys want to support us over there on patreon.com. And, we'd appreciate it. If you guys want the podcast, it's like $3. You're going to get an hour every single week. It's like 75 cents a month or an episode for a month. So we had a lot of fun shooting that. In fact, we got to shoot the second set of those this weekend, I think. Guys, right?
I haven't laughed that hard in a while for like that extended period of time.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Yeah, and
My
then,
cheeks were hurting
and then-
so bad.
And by the end, we even cracked a few brewskis, I think, for the Q&A afterwards, which is one of our tiers there. So we definitely had some good laughs to be had there. So
I will say there's also a Patreon. I'm not Patreon, damn it. A Discord involved with a Patreon.
Yep.
So if you guys want access to us and the After Dark show, talk about this, join your fellow fans in the voice chat while you're watching this. That is where you can do it exclusively for Saber Dice. And the only way to get access to that is by joining the Patreon.
Yep. And then lastly, there is a giveaway we're doing for Torg Eternity. It is a 25-pound box of Torg Eternity goodies. This cargo box is no longer available. It was part of their Kickstarter. It's over. It was over ages ago. We have gotten our hands on 3 of them. We will ship them if you guys win anywhere in the world. So if you are not entering this and telling your friends to enter this thing, you're insane. Take a few minutes to enter into that giveaway. It's just a few clicks, and you guys might win I think it's like $300 box of Torg Eternity stuff. So it's
these
really,
things
really
are
cool.
so big. Cody threw out his back.
Yeah, he threw out his back, guys.
Someone in game today almost had a very expensive box.
Oh, he's gonna get crippled again.
This
No!
is the box, y'all. I mean, it's 25 pounds of
Just
swag.
think is his head.
Enter
I'm so
in the
glad that
giveaway.
only
Enter in the
made
giveaway,
up.
guys. Enter in the damn giveaway. All right. We love your faces. We'll catch you guys next week. Take care. Stay nerdy.